Hello there. My girlfriend and I did a trip to Rosenheim from Munich last weekend. And with this video, we want to share it with you and show you the do's and don'ts in our opinion.
Ja, weil es halt einfach langweilig ist. Das will ich auch, damit will ich den Speicher nicht vollhauen und den Akku.
So as you can see here, we started our tour by riding through the outskirts of Munich, and that's the first don't for you. We don't recommend you to do the trip from Munich to Rosenheim by starting somewhere within Munich. As you can see here, there are some nice parks, but don't be fooled by my selected video footage. Most of it is just riding alongside streets and with a lot of cars. So we thought we recommend you to start in Eying, where you can go by local train, and from there on it's really beautiful and you still have like 45 to 50 kilometers for going to Rosenheim.
Das ist ja richtig schön hier. Hier so eine kleine Stadt hier mit dem eigenen Maibaum.
So this area was really nice with the cobblestones and the May tree, the Maibaum in German, traditional Bavarian. But later on there were some parts which were really not pretty, and we had a hard time getting out of the city. It felt a bit endless to us at some point, especially with very long straight streets.
Da sind auch Fahrradschilder. Hier.
This part was especially ugly, and we were happy to leave it quickly. Fortunately, the signs were relatively easy to follow. We did the so-called Mangfall Radweg, so Mangfall bicycle route, and Mangfall is a river. Unfortunately, this bicycle route will only go alongside the Mangfall on the second half, so the first half of it is just going towards this river.
Da können wir mal ein bisschen vom Leder ziehen in unserer Kommentierung, dass das hier halt einfach nicht schön ist. Leute, wenn ihr diesen Weg fahrt, richtet euch drauf ein.
From here on, I would say it was starting to get better. So maybe this is a place where you can go and start, Ottobrunn, or as I said before, even Eying. After roughly 1 hour we got here, and that was roughly 20 kilometers from our starting point in Obergiesing. Here, as you can see, we left the big street and there were already signs specifically for the Mangfall bicycle route. As you can also see, this time I put my phone on landscape mode, and I also took my Ortlieb handlebar bag with me, which is really convenient to put little things like your wallet and maybe some additional batteries for the GoPro. Very creative ideas. I also had a lot of snacks in there. At this place I discovered some chickens, so I had to stop and look what they're doing. And apparently the owners were selling their eggs here in this little, I think it's cabin, what it's called, right? It even had some Christmas decoration still on. But my girlfriend had already gone ahead, so I had to accelerate a bit to catch up with her. Maybe she was just fed up by all the streets and wanted to get to the nicer areas quickly.
Ich habe Hühner gefilmt.
I was also a bit fed up. We also had done another tour the day before, So this recording here is from a Sunday, and the Saturday before, which also had really nice weather, there we went just to the east of Munich, so through the district of Trudering-Riem, and we wanted to go to the Ebersberger Forst, which is a big forest to the east of Munich. We found a nice bicycle route and we followed this after also a rough start by getting out of Munich, and from there on we had a really nice and enjoyable ride. So I will share this route in the description. We didn't film that day because we just wanted to enjoy the ride for ourselves. At this roundabout here we had some typical cycling tour problem. There were no signs. So we lost the way, went into the wrong direction for half a kilometer and then found out, no, by looking at my phone, we have to take the other turn out of the roundabout. And we were happy from there on, less and less cars and more nature. We got into a better and better mood here and were even discussing future bicycle purchase plans. So here we had to go to the left and there were some railway tracks to cross and we went into the wrong direction again. But we found a nice bench and a nice place to take a break. A good place to take a break from all the roads and all the traffic while getting out of the city. I enjoyed some homemade sandwiches my girlfriend had prepared, and we also had some freshly cut vegetables with us and muesli bars, if this translation is correct. Here you can see the Rotor Amundsen in nice pastel blue. And I enjoyed the tan walls of my tires in the sunlight. But then I discovered that my roll-off had been leaking again and even made a stain on my beloved tan walls. Annoying. And then the first forest of the route. Very nice and always a very relaxing sight, in my opinion. I can't wait for spring to start and when everything becomes green and lush. My girlfriend was fighting. We had the first hills, so it was going upwards and downwards. And then finally another nice sight when we see the first mountains. It's always a way bigger relief even than having the forests. And the blue sky, just great. So after my tour to Bad Tölz and the tour the day before, it was a bit surprising to me that we agreed on yet another tour just one day later. That tour the day before was roughly 60 kilometers and this day here had us doing roughly 70 kilometers. But the weather was so nice again and it was just so enjoyable that we couldn't resist and wanted to explore more of the surroundings of Munich. By the way, this is the station of Eying, and this is another recommendation where I would tell you to start your trip to Rosenheim if you want to avoid the outskirts of Munich. This is one of the Mangfall bicycle route signs, and we were eager to find them all and follow the route. Please let me know in the comments if you like how you follow certain bicycle routes. Do you use the signs still, or do you mainly use your smartphone or maybe even a GPS system? Would be really interesting to know. I sometimes feel a bit old-fashioned by mainly following the road signs, but yeah, in the end it works out for me, so would be interesting to hear what you are using. Stood up a little there because, if I'm honest, my butt was hurting a bit from the day before, and now the second day we didn't wear any cycling trousers, and I'm not so sure about my saddle, an Esculap saddle, which should be in theory very ergonomic and very good for long-term riding comfort, but my butt really hurt at that point. Maybe I was just not used to riding longer tours again, or it's just not the saddle for me, despite all the ergonomic design. I like Brooks saddles more, but I've not done very long tours on them, so yeah, I maybe should try them out for longer tours as well. Next little break with some more snacks and sandwich. Sugar and carbs for the system. Here you can see the road signs again. And a nice little break in the shadow. I'm surprised to say that, but yeah, this day was really sunny amongst all these cloudy days with no sun. So the first time I needed some shadow after a long time, probably. I was happy that I had fixed my front brake the evening before, so after the first tour that weekend, and it was not screeching anymore finally, and braking like crazy again. Here we were very surprised. There were so many cars parking. We didn't know what was going on here. Probably some public festival or something. But as we discovered a moment later, there was some big amusement park for children or for families with their children. And of course, all of them were enjoying the nice weather as well.
Perfekt für das Wetter.
Somewhere around here was half-time between Munich and Rosenheim, so 35 kilometers in both directions.
Servus.
And I have to say, everything was just beautiful. Being out of the city, having the mountains in the distance, the sunlight, hearing the birds chirping, maybe also my roll-off, which sounds like a coffee grinder while going uphill in the 7th gear. But yeah, all of this just so nice. And spring hasn't even started.
Ja. Ja.
This area here was my favorite of the whole trip, but the way it is sometimes, the GoPro battery, despite being at like 40%, just randomly stopped recording. And in this forest, you see, we had a really nice descent and it was so much fun, really long, but no recording, sorry. So I think that's an incentive for you to check this route out yourself. But one thing was a bit strange. Wasn't this supposed to be a route for bicycles alongside a river? We still hadn't discovered the Mangfall at this point, although being more than 40 kilometers in on the ride. So it was time for us to find this river.
Jetzt sind wir endlich an der Mangfall.
Das ist die Mangfall.
Das ist die Mangfall.
So there it was, the Mangfall, with crystal clear water, just as the Isar. From this part of the ride, I remembered that I was still enjoying it a lot, now with the river being close to us, but also the pain in my butt was growing, and it was also some kind of a fight already. That's why I again want to recommend to you, start outside of Munich. Take a local train somewhere out of the city so that you have more of the enjoyable part with also a lot of energy left inside your legs and other body parts. So we had to have another break. More sandwiches, more dried fruits and bananas, and eventually we're able to head on towards Rosenheim. Probably 15 kilometers left at that point, and we were eager to make it. At this point, shout out to some friends who have been watching my videos. So, hi Manuel and hi Michael, thanks for watching. And also special thanks to Ben from Munich, who had commented my video about the vintage Panasonic MC350 and recommended some Knipex tool to buy. Unfortunately, I didn't find this one locally, so I ended up buying the Park Tool cable and housing cutter because I didn't want to order online. But I bought some other Knipex tool. So, thanks Ben.
Schon schön, dass sie das noch so mit ausschildern. Spannend, oder? Da so reinzugucken.
And here we are finally making it closer and closer to Rosenheim. At this point it was also really late already. I think it was like 4:30 p.m. So not so much sunlight left anymore. And we were getting really tired after the second tour of the weekend. So here we had made it to the city center of Rosenheim. A really pretty place. Unfortunately, most nice places were closed as it was late Sunday afternoon, but still it was so enjoyable. Also seeing the rest of the sunlight on the beautiful house facades. Multiple nice coffee places I would like to check out one day. So I definitely have to come back. And we decided to go to Augustina and just get some nice beer and pretzels. We had so many snacks on our ride that we didn't want a full dinner or late lunch, whatever that was at that time. So we had the nice alcohol-free Augustiner again. Here is a nice recording from the day before. There we had proper lunch. That was so nice. I will put the link of this place in the description. Finally heading to the station of Rosenheim to conclude this ride. We were not even able to sit in our saddles anymore at that point. So maybe we have to get more used to riding long tours. We still had plenty of time for the next train, so we enjoyed the view of the Alps a bit more. But we were also feeling that it was getting colder and colder, and we were quite exhausted from the day. Yeah, maybe I like this bike too much. Can't stop filming it, especially in such a beautiful scenery, where also the bags kind of match the color setting. Very interesting. Alright, and with this train heading towards the mountains, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed this little tour. So please subscribe if you want to support the channel, and that's it for today. Bye bye!